Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a piece today that really makes you question things.
Mm,
Like how much of what you think is normal or maybe necessary is actually, well, just constructed.
exactly. We're looking at The Constructed Reality Is This by Tyreek A Gaynor-Fray.
Right. Published on Medium September 9th, 2024. And Gaynor-Fray uses he, him, they pronouns.
A relatively new voice on Medium, it seems, but definitely asking some big questions.
Yeah, pushing us to really look hard at our everyday reality.
So our mission here, is to explore this challenge Gaynor-Fray puts forward about value, societal assumptions, space,
Yeah.
even human limits.
And pull out some surprising insights, maybe shift perspective a bit.
That's the goal.
And, well, Gaynor-Fray doesn't waste any time. He just jumps right in with this scenario.
Oh, yeah, the one designed to kind of stop you in your tracks.
Totally. He says, imagine you live here,
Yeah.
right on the wall, on the dirt patch, for life.
Without ever needing money, a house, a car, or normal necessities.
My first reaction was just, wait, how? How could that life possibly work or be valuable? What does that even look like?
But that's the point, isn't it? He immediately flips the script on value
Mm-hmm.
because he follows up saying you would, in fact, outlive a billionaire.
Right. And not just that, but be more valuable than everyone in another country that is separated from you by a wall.
So what's fascinating here is how it forces you to rethink everything. This idea that real value could exist completely outside, like the usual economic framework.
That our necessities might just be
Mm.
constructs, illusions almost.
Exactly. It hits hard against the idea that, wealth or comfort automatically means a better life or a more valuable one.
Especially across these artificial lines like walls.
Even without the things we think are essential, it makes you ask, okay, what is a good life then? How do we even measure worth?
That reframing is powerful. And it sort of leads into his next point, doesn't it? Shifting to power dynamics.
Yeah, the scale thing.
He describes it as a very small area and small physical human controlling a very large area.
And he apparently includes an image, too, where you see a person looking tiny compared to this huge landmass.
So what does that imply? What's he getting at there?
Well, if we connect that to the bigger picture, it's pretty profound, I think, about power structures.
Like how control works?
Yeah, it's not just about dictators or something obvious. It's showing how this disproportionate control can exist over huge spaces, loads of people.
Wielded by, as he puts it, a small physical human.
Right. It raises that question, doesn't it?
Right.
What are the systems, the mechanisms, not just brute force, that let one small point exert influence over such vastness?
Systems enabling control despite the scale difference. That makes sense.
It really makes you wonder about the infrastructure of power itself.
And building on that, he ties it all together with this observation about labels.
Yes. This is crucial.
So you have this huge landmass, right? Suggesting more space than needed for people living in this world.
Seems like there should be enough room for everyone.
But then Gaynor-Fray points out it's the labels such as nationality, net worth, and history of crime that determine where people can go and what they can do.
And that just makes you stop and think, wow, how arbitrary are these things we've created?
Right.
You have all this physical space, potentially abundant, but then these human-made labels, they create the real barriers, the real restrictions.
It's that contrast, again, the vast physical world versus these, like, invisible social walls.
Totally. Think about it. Your nationality, your bank balance, maybe something you did years ago.
Yep.
These things can literally dictate where you can live, the job you might get, your opportunities, arguably more than any physical wall could.
It's kind of ironic.
Deeply ironic. So much potential space and freedom limited by lines we drew on maps or categories we invented.
Makes you wonder how many walls we bump into daily that we just accept because we built them ourselves collectively.
Yeah. And you see this theme running through his other work too, right? You mentioned looking at his profile.
Yeah, briefly. He's got a few followers on Medium, follows a few more, links to a link tree. But the other article titles are interesting.
What were they again?
Things like the Social Security number in secret, my leadership burden.
Sure.
Also Canada, the most valuable second. And one called Living in San Diego, a personal perspective.
Okay, yeah, you can see the pattern. Social security numbers, identifiers within a system. Leadership burden, maybe personal roles within structures. Canada, national identity. San Diego, a specific place, likely framed by broader contexts.
Exactly. It all seems to circle back to how these constructed systems, whether they're big national ones or personal experiences, shape our reality.
It definitely shows a consistent interest in picking apart these structures.
Yeah.
identity, society, the realities we sort of agree to live in.
So summing this up, Gaynor-Fray's piece, The Constructed Reality Is, it really throws this tension into sharp relief, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The tension between, like, the vastness of the world, what humans could potentially be or do.
Versus these often really arbitrary human-made rules and limits of our constructed reality.
Yeah, the invisible cages.
It's almost like a plea to see beyond the constructs.
I think so. And maybe a good final thought for you listening is to take that insight personally.
How so?
Well, given what Gaynor-Fray is suggesting, maybe take a look at the walls in your own life,
Physical, social, economic?
any of them,
Hmm.
and ask yourself, how many are truly fixed, truly unmovable, and how many are just part of a reality that we've perhaps unconsciously agreed to build and maintain?
That's a challenging thought.
It is.
Yeah.
But maybe worthwhile to just critically observe those labels, those systems that influence what you feel you can do and where you feel you can go.